So this is not the first time that we've used Lovable. If you watched episode 8, we compared building a website or a web app in Lovable as well as Replit. Today, we're going to be using Lovable again. And the first step of this is like just spinning up a landing page or one-page site or something like that for your product or service. It's entirely likely that you already have this, but I wanted to be able to really show end to end in case you're just sitting there going, I have not started any of it. I want to make sure you could understand the entire thing. So in Lovable, which is lovable.dev, you can just prompt it conversationally and tell it what you want to do. So I've actually already pasted my prompt in here. And I'm just asking it to design a new landing page for my newsletter called Havertown News. The website is havertown.news, and it's all about Havertown, PA. It's sent weekly on Monday morning at 7 a.m., and it just contains recent news, upcoming events, special discounts, and anything else that people who love Havertown will care about. Now, you may recognize that if you watched episode 8. We actually did spin up a page for that. So I'll get this going, and we'll see like what other result it gives. But rather than making y'all watch it work, I do have the version that we spun up a couple of episodes ago. So if you remember, we have this page that it put together for my newsletter, forms included, a little bit about the page, pretty straightforward landing page. Now, I'm only short circuiting that because it takes like 3-4 minutes for it to spin up the first draft, but I don't want to make everybody sit through that because the really important part here is like you get your page up, and then we're going to show how to connect that page to the form using the AI form builder to the workflow that automatically goes out. So you can have that little kind of email starter kit. Now, one of the beautiful things with Lovable is that it is also a conversational AI tool. So anything that I need to do, I can really just ask it. I've got my page. So we're going to move over into actually building the form that I want to place on it. As you can see, it has some basic email sign up forms, but I want to do like a pattern interrupt and like give a further incentivized offer for them to sign up. Like, just caring about Havertown and wanting to know what's going on isn't incentive enough. So I want to offer a little bit more and kind of break their attention when they come to the page.
So how do you get to your incentive? Like, what's the process that you use to figure out what you wanted to offer?
Yeah, I think it's really, I don't know if there's a process so much as just kind of like a frame of mind. Like what can I offer that's not the full product, right? Like in the case of this, because it's about a local community, it's a local newsletter. My thinking is like, let's give discounts that we've worked out with local business owners that are exclusive to those businesses. So I'm going to incentivize like 10% off to a local business for signing up. If you're an author, maybe it's get the first chapter of my upcoming book for free by email for signing up to my newsletter. If you are a coach of some kind, maybe it's a 30-minute discovery call that's free if they sign up for your newsletter. Like there's just, it's finding a bridge to your real product and service.
Yeah. I'm thinking of another case, like one of our, Jesse and I worked together at AWeber, and another product manager that we had worked with is also a travel blogger. And for him, it would be so cool to have something like, hey, to get my like 5 hidden gems, like the best secret spots that I don't want to just get completely overwhelmed by tourists in this city in Madrid or something, sign up.
Yeah,
that could be such a
off the
cool
beaten
thing.
path places, or the travel hacks to get through, customs and security without the headache based on his experience. Some kind of guide or like lightweight guide. I think that like you're right. People often it's like, well, do I have to give them access to all of it? And it's really just like it's this incentivized taste that acts as a bridge to what you're actually offering. So in this case, I'm offering news about Havertown. So I want to incentivize by, and also like, I like it because it's a local newsletter and we have a lot of, locally owned businesses. So it's also a way of kind of like giving, that's the incentive to the business is it's exposure for them and getting people in the door there. All right. So we have the page. And as you can see, it's actually live in real time. And in a second, I'm going to share that URL, but not quite yet because we actually can test the form in real time once we build that. To start with the form, I'm jumping over to my AWeber account now. So we have Lovable. We spun up our page. I'm not going to go step by step through like how to publish the Lovable page, and I apologize for that right now, but it's more of a time constraint. If you want to do more of that, go to episode 8 when we're done today on the YouTube channel, and we cover that like much more in depth, where you can actually walk through how to actually go from like idea to published site or landing page. In AWeber, on my dashboard, I'm going to navigate to pages and forms. And then there's this new menu item, AI sign up forms. And this is our sign up form builder. I'm actually going to create a new form. And as you can see, there's kind of this fill in the blank option if I'm really not sure what I want to do. There's also some templates that I can start from. But in my case, I'm just going to click up here and write my own prompt for it. So I actually have my prompt pasted in here. I'm asking it to create a form for my website, Havertown News. It should pop over the full screen and be dismissible. It should have a spin wheel that they have to click to spin, and then it'll land on 10% off a local business and prompt them to sign up with name and email. It should look like the brand attached. I've attached a screenshot of my landing page. On subscribe, apply the tag 10%, and I'll explain why that matters in a little bit, but I want it to apply a specific tag when they use this form. And then I give it some more, kind of creative direction. I want the background transparent, how long it should wait before it pops up after they, land on the page, and what kind of confirmation I want to give them, and we'll see all of that.
Yeah, and Jesse's demonstrating something that we've talked about a lot, and that is with a vague prompt, you can expect to get a surprising result. Because all of the details you leave out, the model is going to have to fill in for you. So things about color and behavior, and it's just going to do its best guess. So Jesse did a great job of laying out, like, this is how I want it to look. This is how I want it to behave. This is the type of form I want, without going overboard. Like, that wasn't a huge prompt, but just called out the specific behaviors.
When I think, and I think like, and the real intent there is just to get closer to a usable result faster. If I started more vague, I could get to the same spot. And full disclosure, as I was working through this, some of that prompt was actually follow-up questions, but then I kind of recompiled it in a more, sometimes I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I like coming at it with a bit of a vague idea and seeing what it comes up with, and then kind of reacting and iterating from there conversationally. Other times, I want to be as explicit as I can, because I really want, I have this very concrete idea of what I want, and I want to see it first. Or I want to see it in reality. One of the things that we did on one of the other episodes was like, you can take that kind of vague idea and work through that prompting with Claude or ChatGPT and have it write a really comprehensive prompt for the form builder for you, if you want like to take that like super extensive approach. Again, both versions can be fun. So this is a version that it came up with on that first prompt. Okay. It's fine. I don't love that. Like, it didn't really show the 10%. So I'm actually going to pop over to the version that I did this morning, just shortly before the show started, with a little bit of, slight additional variation, but it came up with this version for me. And I think what I like about this one, I probably would have asked the other one for, is like, it actually has the prizes on the pinwheel. So you see them. And when I spin this one, it's going to go around and around and around. And believe it or not, every single time it lands on 10%. Now, like, for what it's worth, you could get more complex and have it like very much randomize which option it landed on and apply a tag based on that prize. I asked it very specifically. I wanted to just offer the 10% off a local business each time. So it lands on 10%. It pops up, asks their name and email. And on submit, it gives them a little celebration notification that they're all signed up. Cool. So we've got our form. Awesome. I'm gonna consider this usable, ready to go. I want to put it on my site, and I want to start getting people in using that incentive. In the form builder here, again, there's so much more. And Chris and I went over this. Was it last Tuesday we did the form builder? I think a week ago.
I think that's right.
Where we spend like, I think we spent maybe 40 minutes just showing off all the things you can do with the form builder. There's a lot more. For the purposes of this, we're going to kind of move through the process here, but you can click in to edit specific areas. You can prompt iterative changes, whatever you need to do. You can even view the code if you need to see that. But I'm going to click the settings wheel up at the top here, and it's going to show me the settings for how to put this onto my site. It has very clear, quick one-time setups. Basically, the only remotely technical part, which I wouldn't even call technical, is copying a code snippet and having it inserted in the head tag of your website. Now, there's different process and specific instructions. You can go to help.aweber.com to look those up if you need it, or we might be able to drop those in here in a moment. Depending on if you're using WordPress or Squarespace or Shopify or where your site is hosted. But either way, it's a same fairly simple one-time process. And that's the most important thing to call out, I think, right, Chris, is like you install this code snippet once on your site, not for every form you create.
Yes, exactly.
It's just a one-time setup. And then from there on forward, you'll always be able to trigger forms on any pages you want to on that site because of that single snippet. And we'll show that in a second.
Yeah. And so the cool thing is that's all like really easily configurable. So I'm going to drop the links that Jesse was talking about to WordPress and Shopify, so you see how it works. But then it's worth that effort, because then you can create any form and display it on any page on that domain. It's awesome.
And it's not repeat like annoying technical work. So I copy the code snippet, and in Lovable, I mean, this is one of the things that I love about, I didn't mean to say it that way, that I really like about Lovable, is just even something technical like this can be conversationally done. So I just asked it, add this snippet to my site's head tag, and I paste the snippet. And it goes. Now, I did this earlier, so it's actually already on there. But it was neat too to see like the way Lovable was working, because it didn't just insert it, but it also like did a check to make sure that there weren't any conflicts created by adding that to my head tag, so that it wasn't going to just accidentally break something because it pasted it in there. And now I will say, and Chris, I don't know, we don't want to like get too deep into it. I think this is a really fun flow, going like Lovable to the AWeber AI form builder, to the workflow that we're going to kick off. But there is a future not too far away where like the Lovable step becomes unnecessary, right? And it's actually even more streamlined.
Yeah. So this actually works really well with Tracy's question that they just asked. Is Lovable similar to Claude or OpenAI? Same general idea. It's actually different. It's a website builder that is based around AI. So instead, like you can have Claude or OpenAI design a website for you, but you generally have to host it somewhere. Lovable, and I included a link in the chat a little bit further up, lets you design and publish your website to a domain on the internet. It could be a custom domain or a Lovable domain. And AWeber, as you see in the signup form builder, that's not very far away from a page builder. And that is the direction that we're heading with our builders, is we want you to be able to build signup forms, pages, emails, whatever it is you need to build with this conversational interface, so you can spend more time on the creative side of things and less time on the tedium.
Yeah. And in terms of like the site builder part, where we're headed and what Lovable is, Replit to an extent, it's, you think of, people used to, half the small business world uses WordPress for their websites, or Squarespace or Wix. It's conversational in the sense that Claude and OpenAI are, but they're building your website and hosting it. And it can produce some like pretty killer results really fast, which I think is just, it's templates are no longer necessary, right? Just ideas, and specific feedback on ideas. So I've asked it to, it inserted, it actually told me that's already included because I did this earlier, but that snippet is now on my site. So I know now, back in the form builder, I'm going to be able to trigger my form. So on that settings page, if I go down below here, I have some settings. It asks me what page I want it to show up on for Havertown News. Now I'm going to have it show up on all pages. Spoiler, Havertown News is a one-page site, so it really doesn't matter anyway. I can set how often I want it to go. I can schedule it. So if it's like a limited time offer, I can even be like, hey, start it on this date and end it on this date, so that people aren't seeing it outside of like that window. And I can choose what devices to show it on. If it's something that I don't want to be showing on mobile, or I don't want to be showing on desktop, I can be a little bit more specific there too. So once I have changed those settings, I actually, let me toggle this inactive. I will activate my form or publish. Now I've already had an active form here. So you see, I've got this toggle where I can turn it on or off. You'll see a publish button the first time. And if you make changes, like if I were to say, only show this once per visitor, or you know what, once per session, I can save those settings, and I'm ready to go. So again, this is my form, and now I'm going to jump over to Havertown News, and y'all can actually go here if you want to right now and try it, just to prove that I'm not lying. Oh, it's not even going to show as a URL, is it? So that silly extension.
Do you have your fancy TLD?
Like fancy TLD. But if you go to havertown.news, you'll be able to test this. I'm going to refresh here, and it's supposed to pop up after 2 seconds, and boom, there's my form on my live site. It takes over the page. It is dismissible if I don't want to interact with it. But let me refresh, because we do want to try it out.
If it's once per visitor.
Oh, I did make it once per visitor, didn't I?
Yeah.
Whoops. I just eliminated myself from.
Well, I just signed up. I just completed it and got the success notification. That's really cool.
All right, so here we go. Let's do it. All right, so it pops up again. I click spin, around it goes, and to answer, I think it was Miss J's question or somebody earlier, yes, I asked it to only land on 10%. But like I said, you could probably get like more creative with that and actually offer randomized discounts or incentives or whatever.
Yeah. The key is you'll just want to tell it, if you want to offer multiple incentives, you want it to tell it to apply a tag based on the incentive it lands on, so you can tell the difference.
You know, and I think that's, I don't want to make sure I didn't gloss over that. In the prompt, I had said on subscribe, apply the tag 10%. And we're going to use that in a second. That'll make sense. But yeah, I could have said, offer these 4 different options, you know, give them the result randomly. And for this one, apply this tag. For this offer, apply this tag. For this, and that way, what we're about to show will make sense in terms of delivering the incentive that we've offered them. So I get it. I'm going to sign up. And ta-da, I get my little celebration notification. I'll probably ask it to center that check mark. I don't know why that's over on the left there. But now I'm just being nitpicky. So there you go. So that's the incentivized form. After 2 seconds on my site, it pops up, takes over. They interact. They get their special discount offer. They sign up, and they get tagged to my AWeber list with 10%, which we're going to jump into in a second here. But that was in terms of the form builder, I prompted it. I got the result that I wanted. And, you know, it was my first one, I go apply that code snippet. But if I'm just building a new form and I've already got that code snippet applied, like all from the AWeber backend, I'm triggering and turning this thing on and publishing changes. And it's super user-friendly and easy. So now over in AWeber, I want to show you, share this time instead. Here's my subscriber record. So this is the sign up that I just completed. And you see down here, I've got tag 10%. And I'm automatically just those signups are being added into my AWeber list.
That's awesome.
So the way we're going to use those now, we want to deliver the 10%, right? So I'm going to use an automated workflow. And the beauty of something like this is that every single time somebody signs up and gets that tag applied, it's going to send whatever series of emails or email that I set up to them. It can be 3 a.m. I can be sound asleep. I can be on vacation. It really doesn't matter. This thing is going to continuously automatically go out every time somebody signs up and gets that tag applied. So I'm going to create a workflow, and I will start from scratch for this one. But we have a whole bunch of, AWeber has a whole bunch of starter templates here that are super useful, whether you're like re-engaging, selling a product, welcoming subscribers for like a welcome series for all subscribers that sign up. I'm going to start from scratch. And the first thing that I have to do is decide how this workflow gets triggered. Now, again, as you remember, I'm having that 10% tag applied. So I'm going to choose only to send to people who have the tag 10% applied. And now my starter or my trigger is that 10% tag. You can also choose other triggers like everybody who signs up for that list. So like on sign up, everybody gets this workflow. Like that's usually pretty good for like a welcome series or something like that, where you want to make sure that you're engaging and welcoming everybody. But for a specific offer like this, I'm going to choose a tag so that I know just the people who came through that offer form are getting the workflow. And I'm going to add a step. And the first thing I'm going to do is send them a message. I'm going to create from scratch here, and it's going to take me right into the message editor. So I've got my template loads automatically, which is essentially my Havertown like welcome series. But I'm just going to make a small tweak to it here that says, your special offer of 10% off a local Havertown business is ready to be used at, and then I'm going to say it's the Bookery, a little local bookshop and coffee shop in town. And maybe it's, just show them this email or something like that. You can get a little more complex with like how you offer those things. You could do a randomized code. You could do a promo code that they have to show, a coupon. You could pull in like a coupon template here that, they would have to show, and you can modify what it says. But basically, I just want to make sure that I'm saying, hey, here's where you can get 10% off by going in and showing them this email that you signed up for Havertown News. And they're going to give you 10% off your next purchase there. Hopefully you're buying a ton of books, because that's going to be a super valuable 10%, or a lot of coffee. All right. So then I'm going to save my message. So get rid of that. And I'm going to make this stand out a little bit more. And we'll save and exit. All right, so now in my workflow, again, it's triggered by the 10% tag, and then people automatically get this email that we just put together that tells them where their 10% is good, and just to show the email to get it. Good enough for now. Actually, I guess I should have added a subject line. I'll use the subject line assistant to suggest one. Welcome to H-Town News. Enjoy your Bookery discount. Cool. Easy. Done. Save and exit. And then in my workflow builder here, I can get much more complex. I can continue to add other emails. I can branch based on behavior and give them different content based on what they do or don't interact with, based on other tags that they may have. For now, this is all I care about. I just want to be able to deliver the offer that I promised them on that 10%. So I'm going to click here up top, and I'm going to publish this workflow. So now we're live. If I go back here, you'll see that my new workflow is turned on, and we're good to go. So if I were to jump back over to Havertown News again, and once more, I'm going to spin the wheel. Wow, 10% again. Who would have thought? And I'm going to sign up one more time with a fresh email. I'm going to claim my deal. Yay. Check your inbox to confirm and claim your 10% off deal from a local Havertown business. See you Monday morning, because that's what we're sending. And if I jump over into my inbox. You see, I just seconds ago received that exact email that we had talked about. Hi, Jesse. Welcome and thanks for subscribing to H-Town News. Your special offer of 10% off a local Havertown business is ready to be used at the Bookery. Just show them this email. So boom, just like that, we've gone from, spinning up a landing page, quickly installing a really cool interactive form with an incentivized offer on that landing page, taking those subscriptions, tagging them, and delivering that offer automatically using an AWeber workflow. So that's kind of the little email starter kit, right? Like now you're building your list. Now you can start to explore what else you do with that list, whether that's a consistent weekly newsletter or other promotional offerings. I I just saw Tracy's note. That's a good point. My trust is broken in them forever too. And the scratch off ones, you do like the scratch off forms and it's like always the same offer. But like, in all honesty, you really could make this a randomized, like true randomized offer where they might get 10%, they might get $20 off, or they might get a free mug, like you can absolutely change how that works for sure. So that's it. Like that's kind of the end to end. Chris, anything that you feel like we missed or like that should be like clarified here in terms of like going Lovable to form builder to, actual delivery mechanism?
No, and the thing I really don't want to get lost here is that like a lot of what Jesse was walking through was like AI, obviously the Lovable side of things for building your website, and the AWeber side for building that really interesting, engaging sign up form, which is just so cool. Like we had our team is just going wild creating these really intense forms. We had
Mhm.
somebody build like a really pretty impressive like space flight simulator as a sign up form, which is just it's just out of this world.
Yeah.
Um, but pairing that with traditional automation, like Jesse showed in AWeber's workflows, like that is a way to actually make your life easier. And the thing that, in particular that I'm trying to say about this is like is helpful and it solves a lot of problems that traditional automation couldn't solve. But there are cases where traditional automation is better than trying to smash something together with AI tools. So pairing like AI tools like Lovable and AWeber to create these things that might have been too difficult to create in the past or too time consuming, even if you could create them with traditional automation like AWeber's workflows, that gives you something that is useful and predictable. You can be confident that it's going to keep working. It's going to do exactly what you want it to. When somebody signs up, you want to send them an email with a specific discount. It's probably better to use traditional automation than it is to use an AI agent in that loop. But the marriage of those two things, traditional automation and AI tools, lets you do some really impressive things that you couldn't in the past. It's very cool.
Yeah. And I think that's the point is a good form that's incentivized and has low friction and like encourages engagement is going to lead to higher conversions. But to build that form, to install that form on your site, to build the site in the first place is just time consuming. So this is, it's like we set up at the beginning, and it really does hit too close to home where like 2 years ago, if I had this like side project idea, it would live in like the idea stage for so long. Cause whether it was like at night after the kids went to bed, I would sit down to try and like get it going. And there's so much friction in getting that initial site up or
Yeah.
whatever it is that it would just kind of die on the vine there. But now it's like we literally in that time that we just demoed that went from no landing page to a landing page with a sign up form that engages, that delivers the discount. And like, and
Yeah.
that's just to show, just to prove like it doesn't need to be a blocker anymore. That's what's changed. Cool. Obviously, any other questions about that, drop them in the chat, reach out to us, drop them in the comments after the fact. We love the questions and the thoughts and the ideas, and it only helps us all get better. So we encourage it and appreciate it.